Good morning. Today we will be talking about how to create a professional email account. So why set up an email account? The email we're creating today is the email that Hope Builder staff will use to contact you. The email account will grant you access to programs that you will use to develop and complete your resumes. And the career and education team will also send you catch-up material and other necessary work through this email address. Once you have completed training, you can use this email address to apply to jobs. Step 1 of how to create your email account. You need to go to google.com and click on sign in. And then you will click on create account and you'll click on the option that says for myself. Third step, complete all of these fields. So put your first and last name, your username, etc., and choose a password. Step 4. Here, make sure that you input your phone number, your birthday, and your gender. The next step is to choose a username. So for the username for your email address, you do have several options. So you could either put your first and last name first, or you could put your first name and then the little line and then your last name, or switch it up. So these are the different options for you to choose from. And then that's not it. After you choose the way that you want to input your name for your email, make sure that you put CMA 15, okay? The reason is because your cohort number is CMA 15. So here's a perfect example of what your email should look like. So I have my first name, my last name, then CMA 15, and then of course at gmail.com. And then how to use your email. So these are the different sections of your new email. I'm sure most of you are already familiar, but if you're not, then I'll go ahead and explain a little bit. So to start a new email, you'll go ahead and click compose is this little red box, which is this one. And that's how you compose your new email. And then we also have the inbox section, and that is where you check for your new mail. Also right here, it tells you who is emailing you. And in this other section, this is the subject line of the email you are receiving. So the subject line tells you what the email is going to be about. And then we have CC and BCC. So CC stands for carbon copy. And when you use CC, when everyone in the group knows each other and should know who is involved in the conversation. And then you use BCC to keep email addresses private when sending many copies. BCC stands for blind carbon copy, and other recipients will not know who is getting the email. So for example, if you're sending me an email and you decide to BCC maybe a classmate, then for example, I wouldn't be able to see that, right? Because you're BCCing them. But if you decide to CC your classmate, then I could see that you included them, okay? BCC is usually mostly used when you are sending an email to a large group of people. So for example, I'm going to be BCCing all of you. The reason being is because if I have an important message to send to the entire class, I don't want each one of you to receive each other's responses, because then you're just going to have a lot of emails in your inbox. So in order to avoid that, I'll BCC you, and then I'll receive each one of your responses individually, and all of you won't receive each other's responses. And below here, we have something that looks kind of like a paperclip. I know it's hard to see at this time, but when you click it, here is where you attach documents, pictures, etc. Okay, so you will be using this feature a lot because this is how you will attach your resume, your cover letter, or any homework. that I may assign and that I request for you to send me as an email. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and try it out. So now that you have your email address, remember, make sure you put your first, last name, CMA 15 for your email address. Once you do that, I want you to test it out and send me an email, okay? And this is what the professional email should look like, okay? So you're going to send it to my email address, which is this one, the one in pink. And for your subject line, I want you to put CMA 15, your first name and last name, okay? So right away, by your subject line, I'll be able to see that the person emailing me is from CMA 15, and I'll know your name as well, okay? For the body of the email, I want you to tell me, hi, Ms. Ortega, and then answer these two questions below. So I want you to tell me how you heard about Whole Builders and where your dream job is, okay? Once you tell me that, you'll close it by saying thank you for your help, sincerely, and below sincerely, I want you to add your first and your last name. All right, so make sure you do this correctly. If not, then you will be receiving an email from me just stating the areas in which you need to improve on, okay? But it's very simple. Don't overthink it. Again, just make sure you have your professional email address, first, last name, or last name, first name, cma15@gmail.com. That's your professional address. And then send me this email, okay, following these instructions. And as always, if you ever need anything from me, any clarification, you have any questions, you can always go ahead and reach me. And here's my contact information for my email, okay? So you could always email me. All right, so now given this, all emails are now expected to be sent in this form to all Whole Builder staff. So moving forward, you should always include a professional subject line, and you should always email them in a professional manner as far as the body of the email with your language, your grammar, and always closing it off with saying thank you or sincerely and then below your name, okay? All right, this concludes this lesson. I hope to see you soon, and I'm very excited to get to know each one of you.